We got some great Herman Cain clips for you guys. Last night in the debate, he was asked about the unemployed and whether he still thinks it's their fault. Now listen for Herman Cain's answer, but also listen to the applause that he gets.
You said, quote, don't blame, 2 weeks ago, you said, don't blame Wall Street, don't blame the big banks. If you don't have a job and you're not rich, blame yourself. That was 2 weeks ago. The movement has grown. Do you still say that?
Yes, I do still say that. And here's why. I still stand by my statement, and here's why. They might be frustrated with Wall Street and the bankers, but they're directing their anger at the wrong place. Wall Street didn't put in failed economic policies. Wall Street didn't spend $1 trillion that didn't do any good. Wall Street isn't going around the country trying to sell another $450 billion. They ought to be over in front of the White House taking out their frustration. So I do stand by that.
So now the Republican audience has applauded executing a possibly innocent man in Texas. They've applauded the idea of letting a man die who doesn't have health care. And today they applaud the idea of blaming the unemployed for the economic problems. Now, Herman Cain turns around and says, Wall Street didn't cause these problems, but that's literally not true. Wall Street did cause these problems. They're the ones who did the risky bets. They're the ones who did the derivative trading. They're the ones that had the toxic mortgages. They're the reason that economy collapsed. But nonetheless, Herman Cain's got to defend them and protect them, right? And then he literally said that Wall Street didn't put the failed economic policies in. But that's also not true. They hired people like Phil Graham through campaign donations initially, and then later through millions of dollars that they gave him after he retired to work for the banks. And they did the same thing with Larry Summers, with all the Democrats and the Republicans. They hired them to write policies that deregulated them, which directly caused the economic crash. So it was literally their policies, because our politicians are bought by them. And then he added that the Wall Street didn't spend $1 trillion that didn't do any good. Again, literally not true. They actually took $2 trillion and it didn't do any good at all. It wasn't for productive reasons. They never built any factories with it. They never made any products with it. It was just gambling, and we pay their debts. That's the real problem. That's the problem that Herman Cain doesn't want you to see, because he works for the speculators. In fact, one of those speculators is Koch Industries. And when asked if he has a connection to the Koch brothers, well, at least he was honest about that.
What is your relationship with the Koch brothers? There have been some reports in recent weeks that you have a close relationship with these brothers who many Americans might not recognize the name, but they have funneled millions of dollars into conservative causes. They are part of bankrolling. Now that the Citizens United case has passed and there are less restrictions, fewer restrictions on campaign finance and disclosures. Do you have a relationship with the Koch brothers?
I know the Koch brothers. The Koch brothers helped to start an organization called Americans for Prosperity. And I did some speaking when they were starting that organization, and I'm very proud of the relationship that I have with the Koch brothers as well as Americans for Prosperity. I have also attended some of their seminars and have found them very informative. So I don't have a close relationship, but I know them and I respect them, and they know me and they respect me.
I love that line. I know the Koch brothers. The Koch brothers are good friends of mine. It reminds me of Benson with Quayle, right? He's like, and the voters ain't no Koch brothers. You don't give me money like they do. And then he says, oh, I'm very proud to work with them. Oh, I spoke with them. I led, a group for them. It's very informative. They respect me. I respect them. They respect me for trying to cut their taxes down to 9%. I respect them for the buckets full of money that they gave me and all the staffers that they gave me, including my campaign manager, the guy who wrote the 999 plan, and my communications person, and 6 other people who either work for me or work for me. They all come from the Koch brothers. Gee, I wonder why Herman Cain respects them. Gee, I wonder why Herman Cain goes out of his way to make sure that he protects Wall Street and the financial speculators like the Koch brothers, and does it at your cost.